All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at our top four right now. We have Lennert from Overload versus Elias. These players have played before. They were off stream. They've been on stream as well. Where we saw Elias win versus Apollo last round. And the first round we saw Lennert. But these players have played each other as well. And Lennert lost the last one. So Lennert is coming back with a vengeance. On the other end, we have Constantin and Nick, who both have been on stream as well, fighting it out on the other recording, which will be uploaded as well to this channel. So be tuned for that. But yes, we have seen these teams before. Lennert is playing the Karak Shadow Rider balance with a lot of fake out, a lot of options here, and Chimpo itself as well with Icy Crash, Seeker Sword, and Sucker Punch, just being able to boost the damage of all these physical Pokemon, like these more like support Pokemon as well. While Elias, again, with Hard Trick Room, while Lennert just has to try and respect it and try to play around this Trick Room because he has no real way of avoiding the Trick Room except for taking out big KOs, which is not an easy feat, not at all. So let's take a look at what these players have brought. It is game one of our top four. Players are set. Stage is set as well. So let's take a look at which one of these horses prone to be superior. It's also Kyogre versus Koraidon in the other one, which is also an interesting match. But we have Calyx Ice Rider next to the Ogre Pond Fire or Heart Flame, as the Intimidate from this Incineroar is going to work out nicely against this Ogre Pond, and the Urshifu being able to still deal decently damage against the Pond or Cali. We do have options of Fake Out as well, which is very nice. Fake Out plus Surging Strike. Fake Out will make sure that your opponent is not able to move, but if you try to protect yourself from that, that does mean that Surging Strikes that in the following turn will deal damage. So, considering all the options at hand, what is the move of choice here for both of these players? It is going to be that immediate Terra from Lennert's side, going for that Terra Water onto his Urshifu, boosting all the power of his water type moves. Surging Strikes and Aqua Jet are just that much more powerful right now. Let's take a look at what Elias has decided to do. Also the Terra, most likely going to be that Calyrex Ice Rider, going for that Terra Water, and make sure that no matter what move gets boosted from his Urshifu, it will not do as much. Ogre itself is able to make sure that it is faster, but now we're going to see what the options are. We have Fake Out into the Calyrex. Ogre can still move them, but it is slower than the Urshifu. We have Surging Strikes going into the Ogre. It's Surging Water, but this is a very beefy Ogre Pump. I'm able to take this quite well, as that means that this Ogre Pump is the next Pokemon to move. It has Horn Leech as well, so it is able to deal off a lot of damage as well. But thanks to that Intimidate, making sure that this Urshifu is in fact off just as well. Now with the Calyrex being flinched now, the next line of options are there. What is the line of play here? The Elias is just as well able to switch in another Pokemon into that slot of the Ogre Pond, of course. We're trying to call that out, and we are seeing also reviewing also what Pokemon Lennert brought. He didn't bring any Cali Shadow, so it is just 4 non-resistant Pokemon being able to deal with. Let's take a look at how these players will play horses, because Urshifu going for the switch out here, going into a Munga slot here, as Horn is going into that Munga slot with the Rocky Hammer will deal more damage than it will heal. We see almost no damage being healed. Rocky Helmet, and now high horsepower into that Munga. A very solid switch in there from Lennert here with the Rock Helmet as well. Knock off just as well. And now Incineroar, we also know that Incineroar is slower than the Cali Ice, so even if the Cali Ice is able to put up Trick Room, you didn't have to fear the Spore, you have to fear the Parting Shot, you have to fear quite a lot of things. Right, we have the Ogre Pond now switching out, choosing to be used later in a later time. It's actually Indeedee coming in. It is able to redirect quite a lot of moves. It is also safety goggles, so making sure that even if Trick Room is set up like the Psychic Surge, is making sure that it stays safe. Calyrex going for that protect, trying to stay safe just as well as the protect from Humongous try nice and healthy just as well. Parting shot from Incineroar is not going to affect the protect here, but now this ability is prone and fully able to just show that it is that. Follow me. Or go into that slot should he have an option. Still survive a very strong bleed. Of course, the other thing that we should note is, of course, now that the player amulet is gone onto the Kali Ice, you do have options of switching the Incineroar at a later time as well. English has just protected it. That is seemingly a free slot to be able to attack. We do have which are from the English going into a different Pokemon right now. Is going into that first helping hand. This helping hand could prove to be very effective against this Incineroar if it is at high horsepower. It's just a Glacial Lance here. Isn't enough for the KO on any of these Pokemon. Barely missing out on the KO onto this Urshifu as a knockoff will deal a lot of damage to this indeed. But now with the safety goggles gone, you are able to still deal decent damage with the Urshifu on either of these Pokemon. You just have to consider is they're gonna be from this Urshifu and then a double Strawberry, because that is the awkward spot, of course. Your Incineroar is now slower than your Kali Ice right now. Really great trick him against it, but now without the trick, you're having to consider this helping hand plus horsepower would be enough on this. I don't know if the so high horsepower will be enough, but it is all dependent on the spreads of all these players. And I'll be very real, I knew that Lennert does not know his spreads. As the close combat doing a lot of damage onto the Calyrex, no follow me coming out. So that means that Elias might have called out for a protect high horsepower. Not enough to KO this Incineroar just yet. Parting shot, making sure that this attack stat stays low and this Incineroar is the one to come in later. Now, we do know that this immediately has Psychic, Follow Me, Helping Hand, Trick Room. So if it is a Trick Room play, that could be a very cool turn right now for and Lennert has now revealed his last Pokemon not being the Kali Shadow, and now this is proving to be very effective right now, because right now the Grassy Glide will be able to deal with this Kali Ice as a fake out plus 8 Surging Strikes can deal whatever is on the right slot. Ogre Pump is in the back, has also potential for Follow Me, but the options can't always follow me. That regard. So, considering that, indeed he also has the option to throw out the hands actually, going for a very strong, potentially Psychic to kill the Urshifu in that regard, but you just have to try and think what the options here are. Indeed, he will to fake out. Of course, now Lennert has the option to try and go out. I feel like that's a very good positioning tool that you have as long as the frequent turns are going like this. We have the switch up from Lennert actually going to that Urshifu slot. That is the fourth, our final Pokemon from Lennert's side. Full HP, immediately being switched out as well, trying to get that terrain control. We know it's Ogre Pom, Calyrex, the Indeedee, and the Urshifu Blood Moon. So 2 redirectors and 2 very strong attackers in Trick Room, as Urshifu is the one to switch out as well. Urshifu being switched out, and yes, ample opportunity for the Incineroar to come in to intimidate at least this Ogre Pom. And you do have this weird dynamic where take out onto either of these Pokemon could work out. I'm not sure if a turn will be enough for Pom, as of course Ogre Pom is fire type, is able to neutrally U-turn its Pom Stab, is all dependent on the rest of these Pokemon and the investments as well. Urshifu is actually the Pokemon being switched out, so let's take a look at what the plays were. Edie, of course, being switched in, making sure that no fake out can go through, but that does not mean these 2 Pokemon are slower, so depending on what Lennert has chosen to do, it is fake out coming out from Incineroar, not affecting the Ogre Pom, as the U-turn is going into it, able to survive it, so Ogre Pom is able to freely attack a slot here, while Lennert does get back that little bit of terrain control. Having to choose what to swap in though, as it has been intimidated. Ivy Cudgel still has a chance to crit, but those are the things you have to consider as well. So Amumu is coming in, a very good Pokemon in this Trick Room. So let's see if this Ivy Cudgel is going to be able enough. It is enough to kill, as it is a critical hit as well. I'm not sure even if Lennert knows it has an increased critical hit chance or not. But nonetheless, now you get to bring in Boom back in, being able to make sure that you get that main going again. And we're still in Trick Room, so trying to stall out that Trick Room so that your Urshifu could fully potentially use the amount of damage that you could. So the name of the game is reposition. The Indeedee is not able to hit this Incineroar, and if you're able to deal with Ogerpon, that is already a very fine option as well. So what is the line of play here? It is Indeedee being switched out, and that does mean that either Ursaluna Blood Moon or the Calyrex are switching in. So if that was the grass that moved into that slot, that could prove to be very effective, as well as the Calyrex Unnerve abilities activate knockoff going into it. It is able to survive and hang on because, of course, it has no longer its item, so it keeps the amount of bulk that it has. And Rillaboom being able to switch out again, giving the option again for a fresh switch in, Terrain Control, and Fake Out. Urshifu is the choice of the matter here. And I believe this is the last turn of Trick Room, as the Grassy Drain is healing everyone here right now. As Ursaluna is the Pokemon of choice as well from Lennert's side. And it's one more turn. This is the last turn of Trick Room. So it's still a lot of things to consider here. Because of course, if you can keep your Incineroar, your slowest thing, you are the slowest thing onto this field. Kill one of these things, but you want to protect your Earth. Ooh, I feel. Keep the Rillaboom in the back because you know either the Ursaluna for would hammer damage, a lot of good damage, or the Calyrex. So it is just choosing, and the fact of the matter is, like, if Indeedee comes in, it will be able to redirect at least one of the moves, but Incineroar is the least important Pokemon right now. So let's see what the selection is. It is Parting Shot into the Ursaluna. Lennert not having chosen his moves fully yet, but the Parting Shot did get selected, so that is the move of choice. As right now, Rillaboom comes in, and if there's a Glacial Lance coming, this could prove to be very effective right now. This Hyper Voice healing there, and if this will most likely beat the Glacial Lance, and that will kill the Calyrex. Glacial Lance will be killing Rillaboom, and now there's only Incineroar. Unfortunately, taking a bit too long there. Field and stuff plus the tech could have worked out fine. Because then knockoff would have killed Calyrex, tech from the Ursaluna, and then you have your Rillaboom being able to switch in while the Indeedee switch. And Indeedee does happen to have Terrain Control in that regard, but then you can Spring Strike plus from beating. But that was an unfortunate last turn there. Intense game one already. So Lennert had a good plan there, being able to not bring Calyrex Shadow Rider, but just go with honestly the amount of support Pokemon that you have, the beef of the team. As Chimpao and Calyrex are definitely not some beef. But that was a very long game. But it felt like a very long game. But there was a lot of thoughts in mind as well. And if you have games that are going this long, you might also consider like the HP stats of your Pokemon, seeing how much time there's still left on the field. So I think that Lennert played very well. Unfortunately, the end game there happened not to be the best one, but I do believe he's able to adapt here. Make sure that he's able to crush the opponent. I am unbiased, by the way. Very unbiased. Yeah. So now Elias also knows that the potential of no Cali Shadow is an option. Adapt to that, while I might just bring it again. So thinking about all these options, it's not the easiest, but I do think Lennert has about it. Oh, just realized just realized that Elias can look at it. No, he cannot. So looking at the possible options. Okay, so Lennart has opted into a little bit different. We will see that in just a second because I forgot that you see that. You're looking at the cases. That's good. All right, we have support gram at the back. We are fighting here on school grounds. It is Indeedee and the Calyrex Ice Dragon versus Incineroar and the Chimpao. Chimpao is Ice Crash, not Ice Spinner, so not getting able to get rid of that terrain, but you are able to Ice Crash your Speaker Sword. You're even able to Sucker Punch. Game from the Roar is also quite nice, but no Intimidate really to help. As Indeedee is able to really follow me while the character sets up and there we go. You can get rid of the Indeedee with just a helping hand from this Calyrex into these two slots. With as long as the Incineroar is on the field, this is going to do a lot of damage with the Chimpao as well, and that is just a KO. Chimpao, of course, lowering the defenses, and suddenly one of the best Pokemon against this team has been knocked out by a significant amount of damage. Now, then it has to be able to choose a +1 Calyrex Shadow Rider. Is a very scary thing to drop against. But you still do have Terra, of course, when you do these, Calyrex can really keep on clicking Glacial Lines. I do think the turn ones was very important because bringing it back from this kind of position is really hard, but I'm not one to say that I'm a non-believer, as Lennert isn't either. He's full of drive, going for that Terra Water onto the Amoonguss, making sure that it is able to survive a Glacial Lance there. Still a Pokemon in the back as well, really going for Pony, making sure that no spores are going onto that Calia.